is now green, and no shortage of enthusiasm to get right out there. And then some stop. Because Brendan Gaughan won the race off pit road. So Brandon Jones slowly through 1 and 2, obeying that blend line, and will go up on the track as he exits turn 2. Apron. Right there. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Let's take a lap with Brandon. Not a lot of throttle movement there, DJ.
Wide open. Yeah, going out of there, you have to be wide open through 3 and 4 at that point. To go down here in 1 and 2, and hopefully be wide open through there.
And the number of laps taken by cars, and the number of the little bit of grip that they scrubbed off the tires, or have they added? Do we think the second run might be better?
We don't add. That's going to be interesting to see. We've got some. I think the track temperature has gone up some because we have a lot more sun beating down on the track surface than what we started with. Brendan Gaughan
sets the standard with a 29.57. Here comes Suarez.
I can tell you that's slower for Brendan Gaughan than what he ran the first time.
28.90 for Suarez, so he shoots to the top. If you look on our right, those times are compared to the fastest car. When they're red, it's not good. It goes green. Your driver might move their way to the top. Elliott Sadler on track now. His teammate Alex Bowman, Michigan, sat on the pole. Elliott's had a fast race car. Junior Motorsports, a nice resurgence this year.
Yeah, his car looked good through 1 and 2.
See Elliott on the right, Brennan Poole that Alex reported on your left.
Daniel Suarez must have really gotten through turn 3 and 4, though, because Sadler lost quite a bit of time there.
Mike?
Yeah, just wanted to talk a little bit about Daniel Suarez. We all saw the big hit he took last week in Daytona. Well, he's still feeling the effects of it this week. He tweaked his right wrist a little bit and is wearing a brace on that wrist tonight. He's feeling a little bit sore, but says it has not affected him in the race car. But obviously, anytime you see a big hit in Daytona, you got to be concerned for the driver. Dale, you've been through that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it hurts for a while, but it hadn't bothered his right foot staying flat down. Because it looked like he was wide open on that line. We talk about others being a little bit slower. Elliott Sadler was right at basically the same time he ran. Ryan Riggs put in a very nice lap. He's second right now. Suarez picked up just under a tenth of a second.
All 23 of the 24 who took time in the first round, or sorry, 23 broke the old track record, so it's very quick out there this afternoon. We certainly expect that record to fall.
But comparing Sadler to Suarez, as you said earlier, if you can cross the start-finish line and run flat foot all through 1 and 2, the variance between you and that other guy is not going to be that great. There's a little bit there, but not. So it's all going to be down here in 3 and 4, and we've heard so many guys, from Brendan Gaughan and these guys during the interviews and during practice this week say, if you don't get in 3 right, you don't make any time, and 3 is an edgy corner.
Suarez, by the way, the pole sitter here last year in the old configuration, but then this week in the Truck Series was the fastest qualifier as well, so he's got a knack for the old and the new. Trying to keep all others behind him, not necessarily in this round, but certainly in the final round. Austin Dillon almost did it in the 2 car. And you can see Ty is in the green and on track now right there. Younger brother Ty going for the championship this year. And that was a little bit of a wiggle.
No, that's not good.
Big wiggle.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, careful, careful, careful. You saw that start, Dave.
Yeah, you can see he just never got the car turned down in turn 3. You can see, I mean, he was faster than Suarez as he entered turn 3 by our time, but he just never got the car turned down and then tried to keep that momentum. Even though we talked about that groove being a little bit wider right there, if you're going to stay in the throttle, you can see right there he started fighting it just even before he got to the center of the corner. He did a great job. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looked like he might have scraped the wall a little bit right there.
And he's got enough experience that that car slowing on the inside wouldn't have affected him.
No.
No, shouldn't have, but we were just talking about this when between comparing Suarez's lap to Daniel's lap to Sadler's lap. It's all about getting in 3. As he got in 3 and had that little wobble, and you run out of room, you just don't have enough room to catch it. He gets up in the loose stuff. We've seen this with Jimmy Johnson. We've seen this with the 2-car in the Cup Series of Brad Kay. There is no room for error down there. You can lose a lot of time, but it's really tough to make up time down there.
I'll tell you this about all the excitement that RC needs this weekend. This is the last of 4 incidents with all 4 cars. Brandon Jones wrecked a car. Brendan Gaughan wrecked a car. His brother, Ty Dillon, they broke a motor yesterday and had to go through that. And now this for Ty. And time running out. The race is tonight.
It's going to be interesting to see how they go back and look at this.
So this is going to take repair the damage there. Obviously, it's ours. So he's basically going to be at the end of the pack starting this night.
Yes.
With everything that he probably has to do, because that's a very critical part of the car right there that's been damaged. So in doing all of that, so it's going to be an uphill battle throughout the evening.
You just put yourself in a hole right here because you've got to go to the garage area, obviously, and from pit stalls to a little bit of everything. And it's a ripple effect that's going to go through this thing over the next 2 hours.
Now, Kyle Busch and Cole Custer were on track when this happened, and so those laps went away, Mike.
Yeah, and damage assessment is being done on the 3-car. Nick Harrison taking a look at it. His team asking them whether or not they should unload the backup car. Harrison said no. He said he thinks they can work on this car, make repairs. You can look at the right rear quarter panel. Looks like he just kissed the wall and it's banged in a little bit. Ty taking a look at it now. Harrison believes they can work on that, mend that a little bit. They may also have to change the spoiler, but right now they do not believe they'll need a backup car. Alex?
Kyle Busch was out on the racetrack already at speed. He was getting ready to begin his flyer lap in this second round of qualifying when this caution came out. That's no good. Caution comes out, he's got to come back down the pit lane. Not only did he get a little extra lap or 2 on his tires, but with the engine completely taped up, the grill taped up, that's going to heat up the engine a little more. You see the team, they've hooked up the cold water coolers. They've been shooting the infrared thermometer down there to make sure that they're getting enough cool water down there, and the engine water itself is beginning to come down temperature-wise, just disengaged it, as you see. So they feel like they've got the engine where it needs to be, but still 5.5 minutes remaining in this session. Not exactly the type of break Kyle Busch and his team was looking for.
Alex, optimum is what they're looking for. As you see now on the top of the screen, back to green. The clock has restarted. It stopped briefly during that timeout. And there is Cole Custer, the other car, whose lap didn't count once that red was displayed and the session was halted.
You know, I want to go back to Ty and talk about backup cars and things like that. That could have been really big. Where put it on the record, haul it to the garage area, let's unload that backup car. But he was able to save that car enough and just get against the wall, flat-sided. Yeah, they'll go back and check the rear end housing and check the front suspension and all this stuff. Beat that side out, and at least they as a team know what they've been working with. They got 4 practices yesterday with that car. You don't have to go to a backup and wonder what you have when they drop the green flag. They'll line it up, and you know, he's been fast all week long up here. I don't see where this is going to hurt him a lot.
I don't think we can understate how hard that is. He was going over 190 down to that corner and did that, DJ.
Yeah, very, very fortunate. It could have been a lot worse, as Kyle was pointing out there. Speaking of Kyle, here's Kyle Busch on there. And if there's any good thing for Kyle Busch and Cole Custer is that this is the second round that this took place in. So they're just trying to get inside that top 12, and both of these cars probably have plenty of speed to make sure that happens. So it's not affecting their starting position at this point.
See the 18 car sucked out of the racetrack, sparking as he goes along.
It's right up there on that edge, exiting that corner.
When do you not see Kyle on the racket edge?
That's true,
right?
That's true.
Fast time, second.
Yeah, it's a pretty good lap for what he's just gone through. Here's Allgaier back out. He not where he wanted to be. He didn't feel safe where he was after his first lap.
Believing he could be bumped, Allgaier goes out and tries to improve his time. Be darned if he didn't run pretty close to the same.
Yeah. Didn't look like he got through 3 and 4 as good this time as he did the time before. It's like he gave up just a little bit up off. You know, he's got a couple of guys in front of him. Blake Cook, Ryan Sieg, those guys are at 9 and I guess 9th and 10th right there. He's right on that bubble line, and you still got a couple of guys like Custer and like some of those guys who haven't gone out yet.
Yeah, Cole Custer ran a 29.32 in that first round, and it's going to take every bit of that to get inside this top 12 right now. Allgaier sitting there at a 34. Mike?
And Ty Dillon has gotten out of his race car, gathered his thoughts. What happened?
Crashed. It was not good. No, between runs, we just, we're going so fast, and it was the first run, I was almost wide open all the way around, and I figured we'd have to be that to stay on the pole. And we tried a couple things to trim the car out, get some speed, and it just didn't work. We got a little tighter, actually. So when I went into turn 3 wide open, it's such a fine line on entry, I got a little above it. And then you start getting the dust, and it's just hold on. And so, luckily, we didn't turn up too bad, so we'll fix it just as good as it was. I just hate, we brought such a beautiful car here unscathed throughout practice, and the guys built an awesome race car. It's really fast, so we're not too worried. We'll get some practice passing these guys on a little bit tougher conditions, and we'll have fun tonight. And I can't thank Alsco enough for helping us out this weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend, especially when we come through the field.
Well, it's good to see that Ty can still smile and laugh a little bit about what just happened. Still believes, obviously, he's got a pretty good race car, guys.
Yeah, and a good interview. He was straight up honest about what happened. I am going to say this, and maybe I question it a little bit. This is not a pole run. This is just to get to the final 12 to make the pole run. You just needed, these guys just need solid laps right here. Some of these guys we see going out for the second time are just trying to get that top 12. And I think, time and team's in a little bit of a box right now. It's not going to kill them, don't get me wrong. They've been fast, as I said, all week long. But still, when you think of what could have been, just for that, to go in a couple of feet lower into that corner.
Just thinking and watching the 42 here, first time here in the Xfinity Series for Justin Marks. Dale, how do you teach a driver who you don't run the yellow line, you don't run the wall? How do you teach him the line? I mean, it's a little obvious here because of where everyone's run, but how do you go through that process?
Yeah, I think that is the thing about it is it's kind of obvious where you need to be. Anything outside of that is going to be difficult. But there's also, Mark, when you're running wide open, you hear everybody going wide open down in 1 and 2. Well, that gives you that idea. You don't have to worry about backing out of the throttle. Then the point comes down in turn 3 as you get there. Where exactly do I need to be and how much throttle can I carry through this corner? So, there's a few things that you do. But they, these drivers are experienced. They understand what they need to do, how far they can take this.
Well, we'll never know what Custer's aborted lap was, but this one's good enough to put him in the top 12.
Barely.
But barely, on the bubble.
And that bumps Justin. Justin Allgaier, we saw him go out and try that one last time and run about the same thing as Dale said. And that bumps him out of that top 12.
And Brennan Poole shutting it down on the backstretch. One car still on track, and that will be the 28 of Dakota Armstrong. His lap will count. He came around, got the green before time was expired, so Dakota trying, but he's not going to be able to bump Cole Custer. There you have it. 12 and left are the 12 who will go for the pole in session 3. So the drama, Ty Dillon getting out of shape, heading into high-speed turn number 3. The car came around. He had to end his session.